Imagine you're driving and suddenly someone throws a giant rock like that at your windshield. Today, that was the reality for some people, and we're going to hear what that was like from the inside.
If you're for banning THC products, then you're for veteran suicide, which is wrong.
They are fighting to keep THC legal in Texas. Tonight, you're going to hear what's driving them.
Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
Shattered windshields and very scared drivers. Imagine that you're driving when suddenly a rock smashes your windshield, because that happened today to drivers in downtown San Antonio. Police say that they caught the man throwing those rocks. The Night Team's Avery Everett joins us now live where it all happened. She has been following the story throughout the day. Avery.
Well, Steph, over the last couple of hours, it looks like someone moved those rocks that were thrown away from the street and the sidewalk into the grass. You can actually see a small pile of them just right behind me. Tonight, we do know SAPD detained one man who they say hit multiple cars with those rocks earlier today. But really, tonight, we're still waiting to learn why this all even happened.
Could have gone right through the windshield and could have injured someone.
Gary Athens says it came out of nowhere. A rock smashing into his windshield.
We heard a loud boom.
His car was one of at least 5 vehicles hit on Thursday near the Pearl, and video shows the man they say did it.
He was just finding rocks on the side of the road and then honking them at cars.
Austin Lambert says the man threw rocks at his car's bumper around noon. That's when he pulled over and started recording.
Yeah, he's got massive rocks right there.
His video shows the man faking out drivers with concrete in hand. Minutes later, Lambert captured the moment San Antonio police arrived. At some point, the man runs away and then takes off his clothes. KSAT got to the scene when the man was caught and detained. San Antonio police have not yet told us his name. They also couldn't confirm if he was on narcotics or experiencing a mental health crisis.
This poor man, he needs help.
Some drivers with the worst damage say it was rocks like this that hit their car, literal chunks of concrete. They were wondering how he was able to get so many of these on Broadway. Now, we don't know what exactly he picked up, but when you take a closer look, the concrete sidewalk here is crumbling.
I can't get anyone out here to fix my windshield today, so I'm going to try to drive it home and hopefully I can get it repaired tomorrow.
SAPD confirmed there were no injuries, a blessing to the drivers who were hit.
God was watching out for us.
When we spoke to a SAPD earlier today, a spokesperson confirmed the man that was detained could face charges, possibly of criminal mischief. As soon as we learn more about this case, we'll keep you updated on KSAT.com. Reporting live, I'm Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Avery, thank you. In less than 1 week, retailers will no longer be able to sell THC to anybody under 21 years old. It's because of a state law that is going to be enforced starting October 1st. The Night Team's Zaria Oates caught up with people who are happy about those age restrictions, but also worried about the future of being able to access THC in Texas.
We've been telling you about changes happening with THC at the state level for a while now. And today we're walking into the VFW Post 76 downtown to talk to veterans in San Antonio about why THC is so important to them.
It's much better than the SSRIs that the VA shoves down our throat.
For some, it's an alternative to pharmaceuticals. For others, it's an assist to stop drinking.
We're tired of seeing their friends lose it over alcohol. Like I myself have many friends that are shifting from alcohol to THC products.
But for the Texas legislature, THC is controversial.
Nearly everybody I know knows someone that cannabis has helped.
Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller is responsible for regulating hemp harvesting in the state. He doesn't have a say in the decision like lawmakers do, but he does know how it'll affect Texans.
If we do implement a complete and 100% ban, it'll put 6,000 businesses out of business.
And it's not only the businesses who could be impacted.
If you're for banning THC products, then you're for veteran suicide.
No changes were made to THC laws during the special sessions this summer, but Governor Abbott did sign an executive order requiring age regulations and childproof packaging.
It should be regulated just like alcohol and liquor.
But some veterans want more. Daniel Esterline is a veteran who lived in Michigan when the state voted to make THC recreational.
Now, there was a certain amount that's allocated to the schools, so the school got more money. The roads got more money. The first year, the tax revenue was the amount was just so profound that everybody's mind changed about marijuana.
According to the Michigan Cannabis Industry Association, since Michigan legalized marijuana in 2019, the state has collected more than $1.7 billion in adult use cannabis tax revenue. It's a long-term goal some of these veterans have, but for now, they just hope THC stays legal.
I think the restrictions, though, are good, and they should just stop right there.
When I spoke with Ag Commissioner Miller about the possibility of a ban being reinstated or talked about again, I asked him about a timeline, and he tells me it could take a while because they would have to post a public notice. They would also have to have public comment and probably public testimonies too, because this is so controversial. He told me the earliest that we could see any changes, if that does become a plan, is April. Live at the VFW, I'm Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
Zaria, thank you. Today, former FBI Director James Comey was indicted by a federal grand jury. He's been charged with giving false statements and obstruction. That indictment is tied to Comey's 2020 testimony in front of Congress about Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election. Comey has maintained that he did not lie under oath. If convicted, he faces up to 5 years in prison. Families across San Antonio and the country gathered tonight to honor the lives of their children who were tragically taken from them. This was to mark the National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims. In the last 2 months, 7 children in San Antonio have been killed. It's a never-ending grief, especially for a mother like Lori Rocha, who's still looking for answers. Her son Aaron was killed in a road rage shooting back in 2016. And nearly 9 years later, investigators still haven't found his killer.
I'll always have hope. I'll always have hope. I don't let go of hope. And I'm his voice. And I'll not let anybody forget about him or what somebody here in San Antonio did.
This afternoon, San Antonio police confirmed that 85 people have been killed in this city so far this year. A body hidden in a dark corner of an apartment complex. San Antonio police say that last night, 22-year-old Jackyvan Jones was found dead after being shot multiple times at a complex on Pecan Valley Drive near East South Cross. But when SAPD responded to the gunshots, they had a hard time finding him. And when KSAT went to that scene, we spoke with a man who lived at that complex. He said that he and his girlfriend actually walked past the body without even knowing. He says it's just not unusual to see strangers there sleeping on the sidewalk.
Well, I mean, even if I would have stopped and would have shook him or anything, I mean, there's nothing I could do about it.
So now San Antonio police are looking for the shooter, and they're also telling us that that apartment complex has been at the center of some trouble. About 40 911 calls have been made there this year alone. Tonight, the family of an 8-year-old girl who's still missing after the July 4th floods is criticizing a hill country camp for reopening. Today, KSAT received a copy of the letter that you see on your screen. It's directed at leadership at Camp Mystic. It was written by Cece and Will Stewart on behalf of themselves and some of the other parents in the Heavens 27 Memorial Group. The Stewart's daughter is still missing. She's among the 27 girls and counselors who we lost in the July 4th floods. So part of that letter said, quote, to promote reopening less than 3 months after the tragedy while one camper remains missing is unthinkable. Your communications treat our never-ending nightmare as little more than a brief pause before resuming business as usual. It continues, quote, worse still, you are preparing to invite children to swim in the very river that may still hold our daughter's body when you plan to open your gates, end quote. KSAT reached out to Camp Mystic about this letter from the Stewarts, but we have not yet received a response. So back on Tuesday, we told you that Camp Mystic announced that it planned to reopen its Cypress Lake location for the summer of 2016. It's in the same area, but not right on the Guadalupe River. During the July 4th floods, 27 campers and counselors from Camp Mystic died in those floodwaters at their Guadalupe River location. And that location, that specific one, is not set to reopen, but the camp did mention that rebuilding the Guadalupe location at some point is something that they want to do and that they want to add new safety measures. The camp's email said, quote, we are not only rebuilding cabins and trails, but also a place where laughter, friendship, and spiritual growth will continue to flourish. We look forward to welcoming you back inside the green gates. A milestone for San Antonio Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones. She just marked 100 days in office. You know, when she ran for the job, she outlined 14 priorities that she wanted to tackle in her first 100 days. So how did that turn out? Well, when we asked her about that list, the only one that she mentioned definitively checking off was changing how the city handles non-disclosure agreements. Our Garrett Berger sat down with Mayor Jones and asked if she felt that her time has been a success. She said that she measured that by whether she could look at herself in the mirror and say that she'd done everything for the community.
I think a good leader also recognizes when priorities shift and when needs change in the community, that you adjust accordingly.
That was just a snippet from a longer interview. During that interview, Mayor Jones also spoke about the challenges that the city continues to face. You could watch the full interview on our website, KSAT.com. So we want to hear from you. What questions do you have about plans for a new Spurs arena? It's part of a big part of Project Marvel, our proposed sports and entertainment district downtown. Voters are going to be asked in November if they approve using Bexar County money to help pay for that arena. So scan that QR code to let us know which questions you have. And of course, we will work on getting you those answers. Still ahead, the 5 finalists for the 2026 Fiesta poster have been unveiled, and you will get a look right after the break. 18 problems, including roaches and a lack of hygiene from a restaurant that wouldn't give our Investigates team any updates. That's coming up behind the kitchen door. Roaches crawling on the walls and employees not washing their hands. Those are just some of the 18 issues that Metro health inspectors found when they went inside of a San Antonio restaurant. Our Daniela Ibarra takes us now behind the kitchen door.
So we are heading inside Taqueria El Charro de Jalisco number 5. It's the one off of Pleasanton Road. They earned a 79 on their inspection in August, so we're gonna check it out and see if they fix things. Okay, we're behind the kitchen door with KSAT. We're doing a story on the food inspection.
Yeah, but they can't. I don't need to recording right now.
I mean, we're just trying to ask questions about the food inspection to let customers know.
I just don't want to recording right now.
We wanted to know how they fixed issues that could make you sick.
You know, your employees were caught not washing their hands. There were roaches along the walls.
Yeah, but like, I don't want them to be recording, please.
Will you answer the questions?
Not right now.
After we walked out, another employee confronted our crew.
Eso es el trabajo que hacemos. Vamos atrás de las cocinas que están cochinas.
We tried to get answers about the health code violations again.
Dicen que no estaban lavando las manos, you guys weren't washing hands, que habían químicas al lado de la comida, chemicals next to food, y había cucarachas por las paredes, there were roaches on the walls. ¿No crees que es eso que algo que las personas que vienen a comer aquí deben de saber? Don't you think customers need to know that?
Pues no es en realidad tanto así, por eso tengo otra inspección a la inspectora.
This employee told us they've taken care of everything. He even defended the score, saying if things were really bad, health inspectors would have shut the restaurant down. We pulled into the Sonic off Vance Jackson and 410. When inspectors stopped by last month, they issued nearly a dozen demerits. It earned an 84. They found that employees handling food weren't certified, and there was no manager there.
Everyone is certified to handle food here in the location.
Okay, and one of the other issues that they brought up is that the walk-in cooler was too warm, so things like cheese and milk were thrown away. I mean, people come here all the time to get milkshakes. Is this a safe place to get milkshakes?
Of course it's safe, yeah.
That's what's behind the kitchen door. I'm Daniela Ibarra.
Okay, clearly Adam and I are ready to party because whenever that little song comes on, we're like, okay, shimmying. All right, so on a happier note, come on, you know we're going to talk about Fiesta, right? So this evening we saw 5 potential designs for the official Fiesta 2026 poster. There they are. Don't they look lovely? They were unveiled at an event at the San Antonio Garden Center, and each one was made by one student from each of the 5 Alamo colleges. They're supposed to go with the Fiesta 2026 theme, which is Fiesta Together.
Our poster represents everything about Fiesta, including our culture and all the amazing people that come together to celebrate Fiesta.
Tonight was just the unveiling of the 5 finalists, but we're not going to find out which of those will be the official poster for Fiesta 2026 until January. Speaking of Fiesta 2026, that's going to begin April 16th. Obviously, we're going to be seeing a lot of changes in our weather until then, but at least for now, we're dealing with lower humidity.
Yes, and I have to comment, you are so right. Whenever we hear that Fiesta music, we do just start kind of moving.
Just shimmying. I mean,
It's
if you
true.
had a camera over here, you'd just see us like
I'm in the weather center minding my own business, and I start moving along to that music.
Gets you in the mood.
It's never too early for Fiesta.
I know.
All right, lower humidity. You mentioned that. Sorry, I got distracted so easily because we're talking Fiesta already. But lower humidity means morning temperatures are basically back near average. And with this drier air, the evening temperature falls off a little more efficiently and more quickly. So the evenings are a little more comfortable than that tropical air we've had in place. And the mornings, again, not as warm, will be in the mid 60s, which is about a 10-degree cut from what we've had the past 5 mornings straight. So notice the dew points. Locally, and for the vast majority of our viewing area, our dew points are in the mid 50s. You get to Cotulla, Beeville, Victoria, that's where the humidity is still high. Remember, 60 and up for that dew point, that's the muggy feeling. 70 and up, that's downright tropical and thick humidity. So we're in the pleasant, comfortable category. So temperatures falling off pretty efficiently. 80 now, but by midnight 75, 2 a.m. 71, and then by sunrise tomorrow morning, we're at 67 here in San Antonio. That's exactly average for this time of year. So this cool front that moved through yesterday just resets us a little bit, mainly for our morning temperatures. And like I showed, humidity gets trimmed back a bit as well. Notice in the hill country, right near 60, and even some upper 50s in some of the nooks and crannies of the hill country. Now going forward, this trend is going to continue. Morning temperatures mid to upper 60s for the most part. Notice that average low of 67. That's pretty much where we're going to be, give or take a degree or so. Thursday, drought monitor is in, updated every Thursday. And sometimes we give you a comparison, but there's really nothing to compare this week to last week. It has all pretty much been the same. One little change is east of San Antonio, between San Antonio and basically Austin and Houston. This yellow area spread eastward a little bit more, but that's about it. 22% of Texas considered in drought right now, which is up just a smidge from the past couple of weeks. And over the next 7 to 10 days, it's still looking pretty bleak, pretty much everywhere across the state. A few exceptions, far west Texas and right along the Gulf Coast. Not a lot of rain expected, but that's where we have at least some potential. What really stands out is the Carolinas here, and that is a direct result of what's going on in the tropics. We had this cool front move through, so we cleared out, but there were some showers along that front, far south of San Antonio earlier today, down in the valley, and even offshore. But speaking of offshore, we have to talk about Tropical Storm Umberto. This is going to be a hurricane within a day or so as it tracks toward Bermuda, but likely passing between Bermuda and the east coast of the U.S. as a Cat 2 to Cat 3 hurricane. Then we're watching this cluster of storms near the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. That's headed northward, and there's a 90% chance that becomes our next tropical cyclone. And this one is showing more signs of potential landfall somewhere in the southeastern U.S. And that's what, one of our computer models is showing, steering that toward the southeastern U.S. Now, we can never tap into any of that moisture. 92 is our high temperature today. We start the day tomorrow, mid 60s for most of us. But we warm up quickly. 93 in the afternoon, a lot of sunshine. And then it's basically just copy and paste for several days. Unfortunately, no good chance of rain anytime soon. Highs in the low 90s. We'll be right back.
It's not Dak versus Micah. It wasn't Dak versus Zeke. Like, those are never the headlines and never can be. So this is Dallas Cowboys versus the Green Bay Packers, and we've got to go and get a win.
That's true, but Dak and Micah will be two of the biggest names on the field when the Cowboys host the Packers in big board sports. We kick off Week 5 in big game coverage with the Victoria East Titans playing at the New Braunfels Unicorns in a District 13 5A D1 matchup. This game was all home side. First quarter, running back Brock Stewart takes the handoff and he works his way through the defense for a 23-yard touchdown, and the Unicorns lead it 7-0. It's now 14-0 when the Unicorns get more. QB Levi Gola with time to throw goes over the top and hits number 0, Caden Mills, in stride to make it 21-0 New Braunfels. That's a 48-yard scoring strike, and New Braunfels wins at home 42-3, improving to 5-0. You're checking out the coin flip between the Jefferson Mustangs and the Lanier Vokes at the SAISD Sports Complex. First quarter, it's Lanier ball after the Mustangs fumbled away the opening kickoff. Lanier's number 1, Nicholas Torres, gets outside and he picks up some yardage for the Vokes. Moments later, it's number 1 again, Nicholas Torres, punching it in for a short TD as Lanier strikes first 7-0, and Lanier holds off Jefferson to win 21-13, improving to 3-2. Stockdale and YMLA were playing some District 15-3A D2 football Alamo Stadium tonight, a district opener for both sides. Lions ball, number 11 from Stockdale. Copeland Hall lights up the running back, causing a fumble, and Hall recovers the football, and Stockdale takes over deep in Lions territory, and they cash in. Coy Gann rolls out and he plays catch with a wide open Jamari Green, 14-yard touchdown. Stockdale is rolling 38-0, and they're heading back home with a 51-0 win. We have some more finals for you on this busy Thursday night. Warren knocks off Holmes 38-13. Blanco put up 63 to beat Memorial 63-7. South San lost on the road to Laredo Nixon 28-13. Sotomayor knocked off Marshall 63-7 for their second straight win. Wagner beat MacArthur 21-7, and at last check, Cornerstone was leading Austin LBJ 37-21 in the fourth. Get all your highlights and scores at biggamecoverage.com. And Alamo Heights at Bernie, well, tomorrow night, that is our game of the week. It's a district opener for both. We'll be live at Bernie ISD Stadium tomorrow at 5 p.m. Today is Dak Prescott's day to meet with the media, so we're finally getting his thoughts on Micah Parsons and the Packers heading to Arlington to play the boys. Parsons said it would be painful for him to sack Dak. Dak laughed and said hopefully Micah doesn't get to him. Well, here's number 4 on the Lions' return.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll definitely be fun. Yeah, it's one me and my fiance were just talking about the other day, and just all the reps of practice going against Micah, in times when he couldn't hit me, whether him getting back there, just the trash talk back and forth, me telling him, he wouldn't tackle me anyways, you still can't bring me down, you got to get to that point. So just getting to go out there and compete with a guy that's a good friend that I've competed with in numbers of ways throughout this building, outside of this building. Yeah, just excited to go and have that matchup. But he's got 5 guys up front, plus tight ends and running backs that he's got to get through. So then we'll worry about if he can get to me.
Parsons has 1.5 sacks in 3 games this season. He'll try to add to that total Sunday night against his friends and former teammates.
People don't realize how hard it is to get sacks in the NFL. We all don't get freebies. At least I'm out of that world. So, I got to work for them. So I got to work. I got a great challenge in front of me. I know they're not going to make it easy for me. I know that, they got a plan for me. But, it's not about me. If they worry about me, I got other guys. I got D.Y., I got Carl, I got Rashawn, who's dominating this year. So, we got a group of guys that they need to focus on, so I have that to my advantage.
Packers and boys will go down Sunday night at 7:20, and Green Bay is favored by 6.5 points. The Houston Astros picked up a key win after the break.